In this video, we'll study about the histology of the bone. First, we'll see the types of the bone. Based on the histology, the bones are classified as the spongy bone and the compact bone. And based on the maturity, the bones are classified as mature bone or lamellar bone, immature bone or oven bone. Based on the manner of development, the bones are classified as cartilage bone and membrane bone. Next, we'll see about the lamellar bone. When we examine the structure of any bone of an adult, we find that it is made up of number of layers. They are known as the lamellae. So, this kind of bone is called as the lamellar bone. Each lamellus is a thin plate of bone consisting of collagen fibers and mineral salts that are deposited in a gelatinous ground substance. Even the smallest piece of the bone is made up of several lamellae placed over one another. Between the adjoining lamellae, we can see a small flattened space that is called as the lacuna. Each lacuna contains one osteocyte. Spreading out from each lacuna, there are fine canals or canaliculi that communicate with those of other lacuna. The canaliculi are occupied by delicate cytoplasmic processes of osteocytes. The lamellar appearance of the bone depends mainly on the arrangement of the collagen fibers. The fibers of one lamellus run parallel to each other, but those of adjoining lamellae, they run at varying angles to each other. Next, we'll see about the woven bone or the trabecular bone. In contrast to the mature bone, newly formed bone does not have a lamellar structure. The collagen fibers are present in bundles that appear to run randomly in different directions, interlacing with each other. Because of the interlacing of the fiber bundle, this kind of bone is called as the woven bone. All newly formed bone is a woven bone and it is later replaced by the lamellar bone. The clinical correlation related to the woven bone are the Paget's disease of the bone or osteitis deformans. Abnormal persistence of woven bone is a feature of Paget's disease. It was first described by Sir James Paget in 1877. Paget's disease of a bone is an osteolytic and osteosclerotic bone disease of uncertain etiology involving one or more bones. The condition affects predominantly males over age of 50 years. The bones are weak and they may be deformities. This is a 3D model of the bone structure. So here you can see the spongy bone or the cancellous bone or the woven bone or trabecular bone. The cancellous bone is made up of, you can see the meshwork of bony plates or rods. These are called as the trabeculae. Each trabeculus is made up of number of lamellae. So we have seen the lamellar pattern before. So between which there are lacunae which contains the osteocytes and canaliculi which contains the processes of osteocytes radiate from the lacunae. The trabeculae enclose wide spaces. So these are the spaces that are filled with bone marrow. They receive nutrition from the blood vessels in the bone marrow. The trabeculae are covered externally by a vascular endosteum containing the osteoblast, osteoclast and osteoprogenitor cells. So here you can see the lamellar pattern of arrangements. So these are the lamella, one lamellus, and the other lamellus, and in between that space that is called as the lacuna, and within the lacuna you have the osteocyte. Radiating from the lacuna you have the canaliculi. Within the canaliculi you have the cytoplasmic processes of the osteocytes. So through this canaliculi, one lacuna communicates with other lacunae. So next we'll see about the structure of the compact bone. When we examine the section of the compact bone, we find this type of bone is made up of concentric lamella. So this is one lamella, this is the next lamella, and this is the next lamella. So these are concentric rings. These are concentric lamellae. So between the lamella you have the spaces that is called as the lacuna, and within the lacuna you have the osteocytes, and radiating from the lacuna you have the canaliculi, and within the canaliculi you have the cytoplasmic processes of the osteocyte, and through this canaliculi each lacuna communicate with the other lacuna. So you can see the lamellar pattern is around a narrow canal in the center. So this is the narrow canal in the center. So this is called as the Haversian canal. So around the Haversian canal you have the concentric rings of lamellae. The Haversian canal is occupied by the blood vessels. Then you have the lymphatics and the nerves. One Haversian canal surrounded by the lamella around it forms the Haversian system. Or it is known as one osteon. The compact bone consists of several such osteons. So between the adjoining osteons there are angular intervals. So these intervals are occupied by interstitial lamella. So these lamellae are remnants of the osteon, and the greater part of which have been destroyed during the ossification near the surface of the compact bone. So near the surface of the compact bone you have the lamella which are arranged parallel to the surface. So these are called as the circumferential lamella. So the circumferential lamella is present near the periosteal surface and also the endosteal surface. So you have the concentric lamella, the interstitial lamella and the circumferential lamella. When we examine a longitudinal section of the compact bone, we find that the Haversian canal run predominantly along the length of the bone. The canals branch and anastomose with each other, and they also communicate with the marrow cavity and with the external surface of the bone through the channels. So these are the channels which are known as the Volkmann's canal. The blood vessels and the nerves and the lymphatics, they pass through all these channels so that the compact bone is permeated by a network of blood vessels that provide nutrition to it. So when you compare the cancellous and the compact bone, there is an essential similarity in the structure of the cancellous and the compact bone. Both are made up of lamellae. The difference lies in the relative volume occupied by the bony lamellae and by the spaces. In compact bone, the spaces are small and the solid bone is abundant, whereas in the cancellous bone, the spaces are large and the actual bone tissue is less. When you study about the osteon, during bone formation, the first form osteon do not have a clear lamellar structure but consist of woven bone. Such osteons are described as the primary osteon or atypical Haversian system. Subsequently, the primary osteons are replaced by the secondary osteons. We have seen the osteons run in predominantly longitudinal direction, that is along the long axis of the shaft. However, this does not imply that the osteons lie parallel to each other. They may follow a spiral course or branch or may join with other osteon. In transverse section, you can see the osteons, they may appear as circular, oval or ellipsoidal. The number of lamellae in each osteon is highly variable. The average number of the lamellae in one osteon is 6. In an osteon, the collagen fibers in one lamellus usually run either longitudinally or circumferentially relative to the long axis of the osteon. Typically, the direction of the fibers in adjoining lamellae is alternatively longitudinal and circumferential. It is because of this difference in the direction of the fibers that the lamellar arrangement is obvious in this section. It has been claimed that in fact the fibers in all lamellae follow a spiral course, the longitudinal fibers belonging to a spiral of long pitch and the circumferential fibers to the spirals of short pitch. The places where the periphery of one osteon comes in contact with the other osteon or with the interstitial lamellae is marked by the presence of cement line. So along this line, there are no collagen fiber and the line consists mainly of inorganic matrix. The various lacunae within an osteon are connected with one another through the canaliculi, and this is also communicate with the Haversian canal. The peripheral canaliculi of the osteon do not communicate with those of the neighboring osteon. They form a loop and then turn back into their own osteon. A few canaliculi that pass through the cement line provide communication leading to the interstitial lamellae. The lacunae and the canaliculi are only partially filled in by osteocyte and their processes, and the remaining spaces is filled by a fluid that surrounds the osteocyte. This space is in communication with the Haversian canal and provides a pathway along which the substance can pass from the blood vessels in the Haversian canal to the osteocyte. When a transverse section of the bone is examined with the polarized light, each osteon shows two bright bands that cross each other. So this phenomenon is called as the birefringence. It is an indication of very regular arrangement of collagen fiber within the lamellus.